What is the number 2 for you? For a mother, it can mean 2 more precious seconds with her child after giving birth. It could be 2 more years before a tree bears fruit, and 2 seasons for a farmer before the harvest. But for the earth and humanity, it means so much more. 2 degrees, a critical surface temperature, the difference between our survival and destruction.
It's the man-made activities that pump in a lot of gases into the atmosphere that made our Earth warmer. And some of these impacts are adverse to civilization.
The Philippines is one of the countries most vulnerable to climate change.
If we were already shocked by those different typhoons and storms previously, you can just imagine that this will become worse. Of course, we have the sea level rise. Sea level rise will then cause us to lose about 170,000 hectares of our land area. Food production, that's going to be gravely hit by climate change. It will be harder to plant. You will have devastations in crops.
And so the world heeded the call. Countries are uniting to prevent the planet from getting warmer beyond 2 degrees Celsius, the tipping point that could make or break the next generation.
At 4 degrees, that world is already going to be totally different. There we will see massive extinction of species. Coral reefs will bleach. We were expecting earlier at about 2 degrees around 50% loss in fish production. Here it will be much, much more. You know, there might even be no chance anymore for adaptation.
When there's global warming, what happens is the ice melts in the polar caps, in the North Pole and the South Pole. Because they melt, the ocean water increases and it makes the sea level rise. And its effect is really to inundate low-lying areas.
This is a normal day for residents of Barangay San Gabriel in Macabebe, Pampanga. It was dry land a decade ago. It has been submerged since then and living conditions have drastically changed.
Noong 1960s, yung palayan namin dito, nag-harvest kami rito 2 times a year yung pag-harvest namin. Bumababa ng 2 inches every year yung lupa.
Farmers are now fishermen, small boats were converted to school ferries, and water became the children's playground. The only elementary school in the village is also submerged.
Nakakatakot talaga. Iba kasi yung kalikasan. Pag gumalaw yung kalikasan, tulad niyan, ganito na ang nangyayari.
When you get the ground to subside or sink because of the massive extraction of water. And the effects of sinking and the increase in sea level are the same in terms of inundating coastal areas.
Indeed, we are 2 degrees away from a different world. A world of devastating droughts, rising seas, and mass extinctions. That is why there is an urgent global appeal to create approaches built on partnerships, collaborations, and cooperation. And that means you and I.
Galing lahat sa kalikasan ito, kaya nangyayari ito.
2 degrees. Anything warmer could spell destruction. Below it would mean survival.
Climate change, I think, forces us to think beyond ourselves, to think in the long term.
Everybody must do their part in order for us to be able to address this problem in an effective manner.
The choice is ours, and we cannot afford to delay because the clock is ticking. Tristan Odalo, CNN Philippines.